The Cursed Motel on Route 66. In the heart of Arizona, along the deserted stretch of Route 66, lay an old, abandoned motel known as Blackwood Inn. The stories surrounding this place were legendary. Locals whispered about the travelers who had checked in, but never checked out. For decades, the building stood as a decayed relic of forgotten times. But for those who dared to stay, it was a one-way ticket to hell. One stormy night, Chris and Emily, a young couple on a road trip across the U.S., found themselves stranded near the Blackwood Inn. Their car had mysteriously broken down, their phones had no signal, and the nearest town was miles away, with rain pouring relentlessly. They had no choice but to seek shelter in the ominous motel. As they stepped inside, the air was thick with an unnatural chill. The flickering neon sign buzzed ominously, casting eerie shadows on the cracked pavement. The receptionist, an old man with hollow eyes and wrinkled skin, barely spoke a word as he handed them the key to room 306. The hallway was dimly lit, the old wallpaper peeling away like rotting flesh. Every step they took echoed through the vacant motel. The moment they entered the room, a feeling of unease settled over them. The walls were covered in scratches and cryptic symbols, and a rotten smell lingered in the air. That night, Emily woke up to whispers. The voices were deep, guttural, and inhuman. As she turned to wake Chris, she saw something in the corner of the room, a shadowy figure with elongated fingers. Its face was distorted, its mouth stretching unnaturally wide as it let out a sickening grin. Chris grabbed Emily's hand and they bolted out of the room. But the hallways had changed. The motel was no longer the same. It was an endless labyrinth of terror. The doors stretched into dark voids, and the flickering lights revealed grotesque figures lurking in the shadows. Desperate, they ran toward the front desk, only to find the receptionist hanging lifelessly from the ceiling, his mouth stitched shut. His eyes snapped open, and in a voice not his own, he whispered, "You shouldn't have come here. Now you can never leave." The motel began to collapse into darkness, the walls melting like flesh, and the ceiling dripping with blood. As they screamed, a door opened behind them, revealing the outside world. With their last ounce of strength, they jumped through the doorway. The next morning, a passing traveler found their car still parked near the Blackwood Inn. But Chris and Emily were never found. The motel stood silent, untouched, as if no one had ever been there. But if you drive past it on a stormy night, you might hear whispers calling your name, inviting you in. Would you dare to stay the night?